that, or we could choose not to see it. If you went downtown Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, the market where they were selling, they were selling everything, themselves included. And you had to step over crowds of homeless, sick, poor, hungry people. And the vast majority of tourists, because it was January and 90 degrees in the shade, I noted were stepping over them. And I said, what's happening, God? If you see it long enough and you make up your mind that you're not going to be concerned with it, you stop seeing it. And I watched people stop seeing the people they were stepping over. I watched them not see it. And I felt that it would be easy for me to do it also. But God said, I didn't let you come here not to see it. I need you to see it. I need you to keep seeing it. And that's what God tells all of us. I need you to see people. I need you to see what their needs are. I know you can't take care of all their needs, but you got something. You got a roll of toilet paper. You got a bottle of water. You got 2 potatoes and not just one. Share. My sheep are scattered. They're exposed and vulnerable across mountains and hills. My sheep are scattered all over the world, and no one is looking for them. If you and I say we are Christians, Christ followers, disciples of Christ, then our job is to look for, help sheep. And they're everywhere. You're a sheep, I'm a sheep. There's nowhere we can go where there are no sheep. Look at them. Look at me. Look at them. Look at us. Look at us. And ask, what do we need? What do we need? You bully and badger them. You send out the bills. Right? It's a major miracle in this city that we've declared a moratorium on evictions and utility bills, cutting off the utility service for 30 days. Because in the middle of a coronavirus, to be faced with eviction when you can't work is to bully somebody.
That's right.
To be faced with having your utilities cut off when you can't work because you're a day worker, you can't go to, that's badgering somebody. Bullying and badgering. And now they're scattered every which way because there was no shepherd. Scattered and easy pickings for wolves and coyotes. Scattered my sheep, exposed and vulnerable across mountains and hills. God says, y'all letting my people be like this. Y'all supposed to be the people of God. And you're going to let other people be scattered, not be taken care of, not have what they need. This is what you're going to do. Haven't I provided for you? Don't you have on a lilac suit that you did not buy? Don't you have on leopard skin shoes that you did not buy? Don't you even have on jewelry that you did not buy? Don't you have everything on your back, looking fine, smelling good, because you know I like my perfume, and you needn't buy any of it? And you, Brenda Gale, are going to let somebody else not have something when you could help? Really? Really? I listened at you last Sunday. You said, thank you, Lord. Praise Jesus. Didn't you say that? Didn't you cry a tear because you felt the Holy Spirit? Did you? Did you do that? Didn't you say throw up your hands, hallelujah, in the house of God? Didn't you? And some of y'all up in here did it too. I saw you. But how are we going to be now? How are we going to act now? Are we going to badger and bully people? Or are we going to look for lost sheep and we don't have to look long and hard because they're everywhere because they are us? Not only are leaders shepherds, not only are pastors shepherds, but you're a shepherd too. You have a task You have an assignment from God. We all have assignments from God. If we are Christians, our assignment from God is to look for lost sheep. Now, you may not be good at some things, but you're good at something. You may not preach. You may make the best casserole in the world. And you may have, those big old casseroles that you can eat off for a week. You may be called on to share half that casserole. I don't know. God isn't going to ask you to do something you can't do, but God's going to ask us to do something we can do. We had to lock the toilet paper rolls in the bathroom because some people were stealing them, which is what happens when you have a homeless population. They steal toilet paper. We know that. And so we had to do what we do to help you to stay honest. Because the truth is, if you needed the toilet paper and we had it, all you had to do was ask for it. You don't have to steal it.
Amen.
But until you learn that, we lock the toilet paper. Not lock, but the kind where you can't get it out of the roll without a key. So you just get what you need. You hear what I'm saying? You get what you need when you need it, and you can't be lifting the toilet paper from the church. And we all kind of have to be like that. I got a little bit, and you got a little bit, and you can have some, but you don't have to steal it. As a Christian, you shouldn't have to steal from me. I should be willing to share what I have. But don't steal it, just ask. And if somebody asks and you have it, don't say you don't have it when you know you do. If you go to Kroger right now, they do not have any toilet paper. Or they may have got it overnight. It may be gone by now. Don't freak out, because guess what? They're going to get some more tomorrow. Yeah. If they don't get some more tomorrow, they're going to get some more the next day. They're going to get some more. They're going to get some more. Just trust God. Be a good sheep. Look after other sheep. Take what you need. Ask for what you need. And then rely on God to make sure that we have a steady supply of whatever it is that needs to be had. And to make sure you and I do our share. If I've got something and you don't have something, guess what? You can have some of mine. And if you've got something and I don't have it, I ought to be able to have some of yours. We're going to be all right if we understand that we are in this together, and our job is essentially to take care of sheep. We are sheep, number one. We got to take care of other sheep. Why? Because God said so. Because God says so. And what God says, now if you won't do this, if you won't help take care of sheep, I'm going to do it myself. Now that's a judgment, people. There are people all around, and each of us has the potential to help so many others. But God says, if you won't do it, would you flick it, please, Brother and Sister Karen? Did you flip it already? You did already. If you won't do it, I'll do it. God said, you know what, if you're not going to do your job, if you're not going to be good sheep, if you're not going to look after the people I've asked you to look after, and what the question that Jesus asked, somebody asked Jesus, who is my neighbor? Anybody who needs something I have is my neighbor. Mm-hmm. Anybody who needs something you have is your neighbor. But if you're not going to do that, from now on, I myself, the shepherd, I'm going to look out for them. If God says that, God is telling us there are people who are dear to God. And if the government and communities and churches and mosques and synagogues won't look after them, God says, I will. No, let me just tell you something. When God gets to the point when he says your churches, your synagogues, your mosques, your institutions are not looking after my people, so I'm going to have to do it, God is raging mad then. Okay, can we be clear? God will look after them. You're supposed to be doing it, but if you're not going to do them, I'm going to take care of them. I'm going after my sheep. I'll rescue them from the places where they've been scattered in the storms. I'll bring them back from foreign peoples, gather them from foreign countries, and bring them back to their home country. I'll feed them on the mountains of Israel, along the streams, among their own people. What if God is doing something with this virus? What if God is telling us to sit our happy hind parts down and take care of ourselves and take care of the people around us? Parents who work in 2 and 3 jobs because you have to, that means you can't take care of your babies. Your babies may not even get to see you. What if God is providing an interlude for families to be family again? What if God is giving us a chance to do what we're supposed to be doing anyway? If you look on Facebook, they have all these communities. They're saying, one woman I know said, Yolanda Nicole Adams says, what is Yolanda's name? Yolanda. She says she homeschools her children, and she's going online to do classes and teach people how to do that, how to organize so they can teach their children at home. And other people said, one man, Sarah Davenport said, we need to set up a system whereby restaurant workers fix lunches for children, and they get paid a minimal fee for that. And then the school systems are doing breakfast, lunch programs. People are doing exchanges, bartering. Shouldn't we have been doing that anyway?
Yeah.
We should have been doing it anyway, but we weren't doing it anyway. But so now we have to do it, so we are. But I think God is doing a reset. God said, y'all have gotten too crazy, too independent, too crazy. You forget that you need each other, that I made you this way. You're supposed to need each other and to help each other. So let's fix it so you can't get around that anymore. Let's fix it so you can't get around it. If Ezekiel could bring the message to people of God when they are facing their city being destroyed, and there's hope in that time, there's certainly hope for us in the time of COVID-19. If there are words of comfort from God in the middle of a city being destroyed, aren't there words of comfort for us in the middle of what could signal the end of a global economy? What could signal life as we have known it before? Isn't there hope that God has a plan for how we're supposed to live anyhow? Could it be that God's bringing us back to ourselves? Could it be that we have grown too big for our britches? Could it be God says, I have a way for human existence, and this is what it is. You're all sheep. I've put some shepherds among you, and part of their job is to teach other sheep how to shepherd, how to lead, so that everybody will be taken care of. The least, the last, and the lost. We can make it through this pandemic, because what ought to be a pandemic among us is the love of God. It ought to touch all our hearts. It ought to change all of our hearts. It ought to put us in a mind to say, what can I do? What must I do to be saved? And what must I do to help another brother and sister come to salvation? There's not just enough. God has assured us that there is more than enough. There's more than enough. And for the least, the last, and the lost, God's plan encompasses all of us. And God says, I will not leave you nor forsake you. I never shall. Amen.
Amen.
The doors of this church are now open.